Alright. So, this is a Hot Wheels Cyber Racer. They came out in, I think, the early 2000s. They were Hot Wheels' response to like Tamagotchis. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. Oh, right here, 97. So basically, they had a few games, and the idea, I don't unfortunately have batteries in this, but the idea would be that you would play some games. There was like a racing game where you would go kind of back and forth and dodge the cars, kind of like Frogger or something. There was like a pit stop where like you could put this on the racetracks and get like a crisscross crash or something and smack it into other cars or slam it against the wall, and it would incur like damage, and it would give you like a little status indicator, and you'd have to like go through the pit stop, beep beep beep, repair everything, and yeah. So I've had this since then, and until recently I got to open it, and it's really neat inside. So of course for 97, accelerometer tech wasn't really a big deal, or it wasn't really like a big like thing that you could easily smash into this small of a little package. So it was really neat to see something that, bam, oh no, we gotta repair the front, beep beep beep, repair beep, and then get back on, just like a real, like a kind of like a real car would do. And I've always wondered like how it did that, because there's not, there wasn't, it wasn't that wasn't really cheap, but the way they did this is really crazy. So let's get this puppy open. And there we go. Now it takes a special kind of triangle, but I used a weird kind of tri-tip on there instead of, come on, focus. I used, there we go. Won't, focus. Well, it's hard to tell, but it's a tri-tip instead of a triangle, so it's a little bit different. And let's go ahead and get the battery cover off. I should have totally picked up the pack of batteries that I saw like 2 months ago when I was at the dollar store, and I did not. So anyway, so we just pull this. And come on, I got you. There we go. And now we have all the gooey insides here. Let me get that out of the way. This is the top button there that went in there. It's kind of a, I think it was like a select kind of button. There's actually a proper reset button right there. And I love the detailing here with the suspension and the exhaust and more suspension there. They really did put a lot of care into these, but that's not the impressive part. So inside we've got a speaker right there, and this part may not show up too well here, but that part is actually slightly see-through. It doesn't show very well, but you can kind of see my finger going behind there. And I thought that was neat that the windows were not actually black, solid black. They are a little bit transparent. So inside here we've got a crystal diode for checking the time, which, yeah, I remember there was like a lap timer or something in here. There's a front kind of weight of some sort. And wow, that actually breaks apart really easily. That's kind of odd. We got some unpopulated pieces right there, a diode. But what's really neat is how it determined accelerometers. So, or rather, determined that it hit an object was this little spring goes back and forth boop, and makes contact with those. Now I don't know what these two were for. These may have just been risers, but that actually can hit there. And then there's one in the front as well for determining left and right impacts, and some dust in there. Come on, get out of there. I don't know what's underneath the shield. Just some kind of contacts in there. But yeah, it could actually... And those old bouncy balls. Yeah, make sure I got in there. The old bouncy balls where you throw them down and then they hit the ground and then they, do a little light show thing. Work the same way. They work the same way as this, and I thought that was really neat when I first opened this. So yeah, that's the inside of a Hot Wheels Cyber Racer. Boom, boom. Now let's just get you closed back up, buddy. And I really, really wish I had some little batteries for this because I miss playing with it. Come on, get in there. Whoop. And do that. Oh! Y'all are probably like, oh, really, you forgot to put the little top button in, which I totally did. So let's get that in there, get that rest settled down, and then go plop, plop, and get that put in there. Oh, wrong bit. And get that screwed back on. Not too tight, so I can get it open again if I want. And then battery cover. Yeah, I really love how much detail they put into the molding on the bottom, which, I mean, is for one, it's Hot Wheels. They usually were putting this level of detail on the bottom, but two, you would be on the bottom because this is where the screen is, so you'd be looking at it. So I mean, it was nice to have like the gas can, or I'm guessing that's what that's supposed to be, the gas can down there probably, and or tank, and then all the little suspension bits and everything, and their Hot Wheels branding and stuff. So really cool little car. Apparently this also had, I want to say this had a way of measuring its speed, and it may have done that some different way, and I'm not sure, but I've always wondered, and I didn't really get a good chance to look into this, maybe if I do it another day, but there is that tiny little metal piece, and that's not present on any of the other tires. So it always makes me wonder if this is not a piece of metal. That is a little flake of dirt. And it's always made me wonder if there's some kind of little magnet reader somewhere in there. And I'm afraid of taking it that far apart. But yeah. So there you have it. 1997 Hot Wheels Cyber Racer. Oh, come on.